exactly what's happened. Mark Chamar, the big Russian's been a really strong competitor for Melbourne for over a decade. He's up against Darren Jolly. You get this one away here on Queen's birthday.
Dean Margette's the man to put it on the turf. A perfect bounce to start this one off. Look at that. Jamar tapped Jones. Involved earlier. Sylvia saw him warming up today with some real intent. Let's hope that's a sign of things to come for Melbourne supporters. O'Brien was in there. Trengove. Interesting that he didn't toss the coin. He pushed Nate Jones in there to do that honour for him today. Not sure what the reason was for that. Nathan Brown, and now an opportunity for Kent. And he's been pinged. And
Collingwood.
It'll be Seedsman to get the kick. And boy, did this guy come of age last week in a ripper game.
He's just been on a steady climb the last month. Every game he plays, he's getting better and better. And last week against Brisbane, career best numbers for Seedsman.
Swan combining here with Marley Williams. So Collingwood just carefully plotting a way out of defence. Side bottom, a real difficult ball. Gee, made the kick look a bit better than it was, actually. Good pressure here, though. McKenzie working hard over it. Dunn caught in the tackle. Still good composure to get the arms loose. Watts through real heavy traffic. Not once, not twice, but even the third time. There's Tom McDonald with the tackle and pushed him forward in the tackle.
Some real positive intent from Melbourne, though, early. Last week against the Hawks, they came out with this sort of intent. They just need to be able to keep it going for longer periods.
McCaffer deep in the pocket. That'll be out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, I think they'll be really happy with that first entry into forward 50. They put some forward pressure on, turned it over at centre wing. It was unfortunate at the end that McDonald gave away the free kick, but they're just looking at little signs in the game, aren't you, that they can sustain that sort of intensity for longer periods.
McKenzie normally gets the tagging role. Well, he started on the wing today on side bottom. I'm not sure it's a hard tag. I just think it's a good matchup on the wing for McKenzie. Didn't start in the middle on Pendlebury or the great man Swan.
And Richard, they really signalled their intent, Melbourne, with their centre square setup. It was Roden, Sylvia and Nathan Jones really attacking quality ball winners in there. They want to get their hands on the footy.
Another example of the boundary umpires slinging it in and it not going towards the middle of the ground. Been saying it all year, but they are doing it differently. Here's Roden to Jones. Not many people would care, Das, but kick is not all that great, landing in the skipper's arms.
You do notice things like that, DT, from time to time.
Yes, well, we'll try another one of your theories out later today. Through the middle of the ground here. Thomas was involved for the Pies and work it forward. Kick with no real depth on it, and an easy mark taken by Patterson. To Jones. Now he's got really nowhere to go. Although there is an option further down in Kent.
Yeah, he pushed so hard then, Kent, to create that overlap, but just unfortunately didn't get it in the end.
Now he's got a bit of a fight on his hands, Kent, as Collingwood did well to hold that thrust forward. And
Okay, thanks, Chris. Scotty.
Yeah, good effort from Dean Kent. It's only his fourth game. He probably should have taken the mark in the first instance, let it through, but his follow-up tackle is what his coach will be very, very keen to see a lot more of today.
Sylvia, it was that got the kick out. Maxwell to O'Brien. Had to thread the needle, stolen by Trengove. Got it inside forward 50, but under enormous pressure was Trengove.
I think Nildy would have liked about that was his willingness to push out to the wing to create that option for Jones out of the back 50, and they need more of that because they're minus 80 a game in uncontested possession.
Ben Reid, high kick in. Pendlebury somehow got rid of the tackle that had both arms around him. I'm not sure how he achieved that, but it was pretty fancy. O'Brien involved. Now Didak. A welcome return to the Collingwood lineup as Didak, and what a good mark going with the flight for Cloak. Now, on his best day within range, but I get the feeling here he's looking to give off. Now he's setting eyes for the goal.
Seedsman has pushed all the way down.
Cloak, a thumping kick, a thumper from beyond 50.
Great work. He'll be real keen today, Travis Cloak. Had the week off with a bit of gastro last week, and good way to start with one from outside 50. Get your goal kicking form, get your confidence up, and a nice finish from Trav. I love Seedsman's run from the back 50 all the way down to the goal square. Just made Aaron Davey chase him the whole way.
He's just a massive unit, Travis Cloke. Big, powerful forward. He got rid of Colin Garland. Might have been paid as a free kick
early in the year.
5 weeks ago, probably would have been. I don't mind what Garland did there. At least he took the front position, Richo. He's not going to allow him that easy lead up. Look, if you were getting marked out the back at times, I think that's just what you have to deal with on a great player like Cloke.
That was a great example of what the umpires aren't paying now. Inside 50, sorry, Richo. Lynch. Beautiful jukes overhead.
Spot on by Darcy. I mean, Trav's going to take some contested marks, but if he plays like that more often than not, Garland, it's a good sign.
We saw Cloke from just beyond the arc. Well, I tell you what, this man's got an equal leg, and he is really setting his sights on this. The glove is off, officially been tucked down into the undies, and he's ready to go.
He used to routinely kick these at the Eagles from outside 50, but just been a little bit off with his range this year. There's the glove.
Called him by the wrong name, then the umpire.
The glove
tucked into the back pocket. What did he call him? I'm not sure what he called him, but he said, sorry, I meant Quinton. In he comes, 55 metres out. That one searching for the journey, a little left.
And there's the glove now going back on.
What's your theory on the gloves, Richo, especially with the hand that's dropping the football?
Well, most players that wear the glove for marking wear it on their opposite hand, so it doesn't affect your ball drop, and that's why he would have taken it off there. He was leaving it on earlier in the year.
He was, yeah.
But he's obviously worked out that it's hurting his ball drop.
Here's the man that's been doing good things for Melbourne this year, Jeremy Howe. That's a sizzler to Dawes. I love the way that Dawes gets the jukes out in front and really gets the big W with the thumb set up behind it, Richo.
Yeah, he was awesome last week against Hawthorn. He was their best player, Chris Dawes. He was the only forward that continually presented at the footy.
Jones goes backwards and finds Garland. Garland to Turlich. Now, Turlich has played every game except for the very first game of the year. Fine debut season for this young man. Off hands, Evans went without a Jack Watts. Bit of intent to go and win it. Great composure to see Evans. Little kick. Maxwell gets back.
Started Jack Watts up forward today, along with Chris Dawes.
It didn't work out there, but it was great to see what Turlich did. As soon as he took that mark, he just played on it. Much prefer to see them do that than go safe and go backwards.
Pendlebury Art to the back, gave him an extra half-metre, gave it on to Reid. Reid, good kick to Cloke. Garland was just able to work him slightly forward of it. Kick's not great, but it'll work out okay. Then Jones around the corner. Gee, the umpire blew the whistle and then corrected himself, I reckon, there. Not sure he can do that. Brown, Swan. Can you pay the mark and then blow the whistle?
I think if you make a mistake, you can call play on, and it was the right thing to do. He just guessed a little early, the umpire, didn't he? And then got it right the second time.
Sinclair short to Marley Williams. Now Shaw, the runner. This is the guy they love to have the ball in the hands of, Richo.
Well, he can go a long way here. He's got no one to work to up ahead of him, so he's kept going. Side bottom push to space.
Yep.
None of the forwards were in position to hit up, so he had to keep going there, Shaw.
Crowd building. You can see the bottom deck and the middle decks.
Jamar's on his own in the ruck here, so they should get good advantage out of this.
Why did he go the punch then and not the palm down to the player in front?
See what that is? It's a total lack of concentration. He's looking around. He's saying, hey, guys, I had no idea Jolly wasn't here at this stage. So it's just an inexperienced side that someone should have said, hey, you're all clear, grab it, kick it 30 metres forward. He just didn't know. No one was around him talking.
Good front position here from Jamar. Nice work down to Howe. Couple of bounces, bit of space. Side bottom made him make a decision. It was a good one to McKenzie. Watts is being pushed out of the way. That is magnificent protection of the ball drop zone from Reid.
Yeah, if you wanted to show any youngster how to protect the area the ball's going to land, Ben Reid just did it then.
Oh, it's fantastic, Rich. I want you to replay that and talk us through it. It was a beauty. Here's Seedsman through the middle of the ground with style and class. Gee, had ball on out wide, didn't see him.
Oh, ball is
filthy. And look at ball.
You don't get free inside 50 like that very often. Here's this here. He's pushing Watts back. He knows where the ball's going to land, and then he just comes back into it. Absolutely perfect, BT. The drop zone, he protected it perfectly.
In fairness to Jack Watts, though, the kick going forward from McKenzie was in the worst possible spot. It just had to go the other side to give
Watts wanted
the
it
advantage.
in the goal square, didn't he?
He was heading back that way, and there wasn't a lot he could do.
Well, if it was over the head, then he would have been able to do to Reid what Reid did to him.
Exactly.
Have a look at this. Straight down the throat of Seedsman. Mark Neal just counting the numbers there and wondering why he is by himself. Got to go back done, and he did. Impressive.
Yeah, that's what that's what Garland needs today. He needs guys like Lyndon Dunn dropping off their men, coming in front and protecting the space there.
Looks like he's paid for it early with a bit of corky in the backside. Swan, Seedsman again getting plenty of it from 45. Stroked it nicely, but a little left.
He's up to 4 already. Dane Swan up to 6, and he loves playing Melbourne, Swan. He's averaged 33 since 2009 against the D's.
Really well guarding of the mark there from Harry O'Brien. Excellent. Come up to it very, very quickly, and it caught Davey too close to the man on the mark. Trengrove tackled by Sinclair. Melbourne through McDonald. Looking for Watts.
With Jack Fitzpatrick in the ruck there, young key position player who's just playing his 5th game.
Out the side. Play on.
So Roden was originally going to go to Watts there and decided to play on. Now Jones and Davey are involved. Anyone can get it there. This man can. That's a beautiful kick. It really was a nice kick from Davey there.
Yeah, that's not bad play. Roden played on. You want Davey to be kicking the footy more often than not and get it into his hands. It's always been a great kick.
One ruckman there again. This time it's Collingwood. Blees around the body. Good bender. Top of the square eventually. It'll roll out. No, it won't. Reid and Shaw. And now, is that deliberate? Big decision? Yes, it is. Umpire McBurney all over it.
Jack Watts.
Said you had no other intent.
All right, Pete, so this is your go. What does Jack Watts do here?
2 decisions here, or 3 options. 1, right foot banana. 2, drop punt. 3, run to the middle of the ground, Jared Roughhead style.
On the left.
On the left.
That's what he's doing.
So he's going to left foot banana around the body. Kick is there, looks pretty good. Just put it across the front. That whole goal kicking from that tight angle has changed in the last 10 years, Richo, hasn't it? I think changed for the better too.
Yeah, and it was probably the Geelong boys. Lingy, Stevie J probably was the first to really bring that into vogue.
Yeah, he was, and he really practiced it at training before he brought it out in a match. So it was something that he thought a higher percentage, of a chance of kicking a goal than doing the old drop punt and run around.
Just feels better on the football. There's more room for more margin for error with it, I think. And here's Maxwell. On the run, couldn't quite get his paw on it there, Thomas. In the end, Maxwell backed up his own work, got it up towards Cloak, slightly out of position. Garland did well to work him under the ball. Now McDonald gets an easy one out the back for Melbourne. Trying to close him down as Kyle Martin in game 2. Some nice forward pressure, really coming at the man here, Collingwood, and eventually they forced that turnover.
Well, Mark Neal, there he is. He'll be pretty happy at this stage. 13 minutes in. It's a 0-0 draw, really. Scoreboard 1 goal to Collingwood, but they've been good. They've blocked Collingwood's run out of their back 50 so far.
Williams around the corner. Dunn. Jones now for Melbourne again. Backwards to Turlick. He was caught. Good tackle. Umpire lets it go. Great socket to Didak as he got the space to work his magic. Good smother by Pedersen. Kick around the corner in the end by Kyle Martin.
It's been a really positive start by Melbourne, and they chose to not go with the tag, but Dane Swan has already had the 8 possessions, so they need to be cautious that they don't just go complete shootouts. They play with a decent balance, because blokes like Swan and Pendlebury are far too dangerous to let do what they want.
Jimmy Toumpas and half back. Good kick to Watts on the lead. He's got Roden on, but he just wasn't back on the man on the mark far enough and quick enough. So he threads the needle. Gee, that went straight through the hands of big Jack Fitzpatrick. Almost falconed him. Davey to Roden. Roden at half forward to Sylvia, who leads strongly at the footy. Long way out. One-on-ones everywhere inside 50 except for Blees, who had a bit of space on Williams. Kept it in front. Well done, Blees. Great composure. Got it back in the corridor. Toumpas trying to shake the side bottom tackle. Ball pin. Did he have prior opportunity? It flicks out, the umpire says.
No legitimate attempt.
No legitimate attempt.
No genuine attempt to dispose. Gave you every chance.
I reckon
Still side bottom.
I reckon side bottom almost had the ball at the end of this when that free kick was paid. We'll have a look here.
Thought it come out of his hands there at one stage.
Tell you what I liked in that little passage of play was that there is talent in this Melbourne list. Sam Blease is lightning quick and highly skilled player. Jimmy Tumpus was picked 5 in the draft. You know this group can play. It's just a matter of confidence, and you just want to see more and more of this young group shining.
Beat him down to the side, though, please. I just wonder why they haven't left him in, Das.
Yeah, I think he needs a good run at it in the second half of the year.
There's a man that has played all but the opening game of the year in Turlick. Found Tumpus. Tumpus around the corner. Beautiful pass. And here's the big fella, Fitzpatrick.
I think they wanted him to work on the defensive part of his game, Sam Blease.
Boy, have a look at that for a beard, Richo.
It's got a bit happening, hasn't it?
Das, you've said earlier in the year you're the beard judger.
You know what it is? It's a wispy beard, that one. Look at it.
Looks slightly Amish, or
it's got a lot of Amish about it, I would have thought. Perhaps even mixed with a bit of Wolverine. In comes big Fitzpatrick, kick on the way, and just took the post.
This young man who just kicked that, Jack Fitzpatrick, is very, very good overhead. Kicking has been his issue as a junior player, but I'd like to see him. He started full forward, put it up in the air. He's very capable of clunking them.
Gee, that's a great kick from Shaw to Pendlebury. Pendlebury to Cloak. Extended arms, went to ground then, just going to try and stay on his feet. Pendlebury did well. Didak deliberate. That's a bit of Gaelic footy about that from Alan Didak. How good was that? Back to Cloak. Cloak can go inboard. Probably should have in the end. Instead went long to the contest, and Swan lost the front position off hands. Jones and Howe. Fitzpatrick at the back, went the fist, probably could have marked it in the end. Bang! And that was a brutish hip and shoulder on Williams. Now Pendlebury looking for running support. Nothing there.
Got to be happy. Ball and stop.
Very good pressure again by the D's. Out tackling Collingwood so far. It's a really good sign for them.
Blease. Just forward to the wing area here. Low scoring opening for this game as Dawes once again with the outstretched.
That's something he will always do, is just present up and give you that option through centre forward.
And a beautiful kick to a really dangerous spot. Mark almost taken by the undersized Trengove in that contest. He has another go here, caught with the ball now. Side bottom will need to get rid of it. How is he going to do that? He just did it, and did it with great composure under ferocious pressure.
Look at this.
Seedsman's gone. It's got to be incorrect disposal. He had prior opportunity. Turlick around the corner, and Blair cuts it off.
That was great, wasn't it? The forward pressure there. It was tackle after tackle.
You know what, the Melbourne fans are out of their chair, Richard. They've got something to yell about at the moment, which is just what you want to come to footy to see. See your side doing what they're doing at the moment.
Swan and Dawes, old teammates, Blease came in and said, oh, do something about this. Into the dangerous hands of Davey. 1 foot Candy, slips the tackle and rips it through the middle. Melbourne with a goal.
Yeah, great call, BT, and it's got that feeling about it. I know we're only... what are we? Early stages, 17-minute mark of the first quarter. But the Melbourne fans are up on their toes. They are sensing their big day, that there is something to get excited about here on Queen's birthday. Great goal from Davey.
Oh, this man's always been a surgeon with the ball, and he got through traffic there. Ben Reid. He was sensing he had an opportunity there with some bigger players around him, had the agility, and he's always had the finishing skills. They deserved that. Their forward pressure was outstanding, Melbourne.
Swan out of the middle, but Turlick drops back and easy mark. And here goes Melbourne again. They reload from the half-back line here with Kent. And opportunity once again to spear it into Dawes. Dawes, did he get one in the back? Umpire said no. Fair enough. Williams, short ball, finds McCaffer. A little one over the top to the runner Blair. Doesn't have to break stride, but wasn't clean with it. A really good tackle from Kent. Gets the congratulations from Lyndon Dunn, and well done to him.
Yeah, in front in contested possessions, in front in tackles, Melbourne. They really are bringing some great heat to the game so far. And the Melbourne supporters are responding here today. They're really enjoying how competitive their side's been in this first quarter.
Man again to Trengove. Here's Watts. Able to get rid of the tackle. Good composure. Not to kick it if he couldn't make it. Gave it off to Blees, little kick out wide.
Good to see Jack Watts use his leg speed there to get away from a bit of trouble. He's genuinely quick for a big unit.
Trengove can go into Watts. That's the direction it comes.
That
was an outstanding kick. Richo, tell us why.
Well, he didn't wait for Jack Watts to lead. He identified the space in front of Watts and he just put it there, and it draws the forward into the footy. You watch this, he identified the space, he chipped it, and Watts didn't have to lead. It got drawn into it.
Jack Watts was actually running the other way.
He made Watts come to where he wanted to put the footy, and they are the best kicks to lead into.
He's quick, BT. Over 20 metres, he would be in the top 1% in the league, and just need to see him use it like he did twice in a row then.
Gets a good look here from about 40 metres out, directly in front of the punt road end. Melbourne to take the lead. First quarter, a little right, and split the middle of the end with the post.
Just caressed it, didn't he? He just tried to nurse it through rather than the full follow through.
Once again, Melbourne are able to force the turnover. The kick goes back inside from McDonald. Collingwood with numbers back because all of the Melbourne players were in position to defend. Came back in so quickly.
Well, at the quarter-time break, Mark Neal will say, we're winning the clearances, we're winning the tackles, we're winning the contested possession. You win all three of those, you rarely lose a game. So they're on the right track, 1 quarter in.
Hey, Ling, you saw your old coach, Chris Scott, give one of the great quarter-time sprays with GWS kicking the first 5 goals. You think Bucks has got one in him?
I reckon he's every chance, Stars, but I think it's all credit to Melbourne at the moment. What they're doing is terrific.
And here they go again. Another ball to Howe, the aerial expert. He's just mistimed his run.
I reckon it got to him a little bit quicker than what he thought. He doesn't miss those very often, or he never misses them, really.
It did. It came in real hot, didn't it?
Just had a bit more on it than he thought it did.
They've really pushed up their forward press and forward pressure in this first quarter. Has just got the Collingwood defenders second-guessing themselves a little bit. Here you go, they close down space. There's no overlap run until this play here, but so far it has been really well played. 7 of the last 10 inside 50s, as you just saw then for Melbourne. It's got a little bit of what we saw at Gold Coast the other night about it.
It really doesn't matter how good a player you are. If you feel like every time you're going to pick up the footy, you're going to get nailed, eventually you start getting a bit spooked and you start rushing the ball onto your boot, you start wasting possessions. That's what's happening with Collingwood at the moment.
Boy, a bit of a mess up on the Melbourne bench here. I think there's still one player short, I think.
Hey, Lingy, it just seems the Melbourne fans are louder than they have been all year.
No, they're right now.
They're pretty happy.
Yeah, they are, and all they really want to see is that desperation, some fantastic tackles and chases. They understand there's going to be mistakes. They just want to see them really have a crack.
Swan back inside, off hands. Lynch will need that to bend. It didn't bend enough. They were without an extra player on the field for about 15 seconds then, Melbourne. A bit of a mess up on the bench. Sun breaking back through the outer part to the southern side of the G as Trengove steps over the top and able to play on. Made good ground out in front of his man here, Kent, who's done well in this first quarter.
Trengove is playing the best quarter of footy he has all year. It's good to see. He's had a lot of pressure on him. He's had injuries. A lot of talk about the captaincy. Well, he's had 8 disposals today, and to see him jumping and marking, looks like a bit of confidence coming back for Jack. 3 inside 50s in amongst that for Trengove. Tumpus fed the hand out to Jones. Jones back likewise, and the give and go. Now he has time to look down the middle, drill. Jamar, or attempted to. Now Sidebottom's got it all to do. Last line of defence. Bit of help here from Maxwell, who's under some Blees pressure, and he hung on Blees. And then more pressure. Now the turnover. Gee, Blees was unlucky, but the pressure was great.
That man there, Colin Sylvia, on the bench. What an indication of how well Melbourne are playing so far. He's had 5 tackles already in the game. Look at Dawes come in and smash with a bit of high intensity. The most he's had in the game this year is 6. Colin Sylvia, he's had 5 already.
Melbourne have only had 13, so that's outstanding by Sylvia.
Maxwell to Swan. Couple of bounces. Swan says, someone come at me. In the end, he had to take the real hard kick to McCaffrey, and he did it well. McCaffrey thought about the short to Pendlebury. Now goes to Lynch in the square. Cloak's got back as well, but Lynch, just Cloak's interruption of the defenders caused a momentary lapse there and allowed Lynch to mark uncontested.
That'll be the message from Bucks at quarter time, saying, look, we've got Lynch, we've got Cloak down there. play more direct, give our key forwards opportunity one-on-one. We've just got more talent, but at the moment we haven't seen that happen too often.
Just 4 goals kicked by Lynch this year.
Well, have a look at his little finger. I reckon that's affecting his ball drop too.
Yeah, look at that. It's pointing the other way. Lynch comes in, and that's not good.
No, it's definitely an issue for him, Lynchy. I feel for him because he just can't get the right feel on the footy at the moment.
That's a great angle of it. I have seen it before, but never really across the ball. And there's Bucks, you can see, going down to Heath Shaw and having some strong words to Heater.
Yeah, and it wasn't a one-way conversation from what I could see. He's not happy. Stalking the bench. Down there, Nathan Buckley. Blair. We may well see a bit of that Brad Scott here that we saw Chris Scott the other night. It was, I think, was very unhappy with his Geelong outfit early in the game. Siren sounds. Collingwood by just 1 point. 2 goals collectively kicked for the quarter. And the coach not happy.
Let's keep our eye on Bucks. Have a look at him. He has got that steely resolve of a man who's ready just to go down. We were talking percentage pre-game. That ain't going to happen at the moment.
Stay with us on the other side of the break. We'll get the mop-up of that as the second quarter will get underway.
They can challenge this great Collingwood side today on their biggest home and away game for the year.
Second quarter about to get underway here. Just 2 goals collectively kicked in that opening term.
Too high, Mark Jamar. The arm's right round the head.
Yep, he had no other intent there. Jolly looking to avoid contact in the middle, and in the end ran into him. Nicely done, Sinclair.
Boys, just really quickly, Chris Dawes hasn't started on the ground. He went down at quarter time, just got a bit of strapping on his knee, so I'll keep an eye on him. He looks good to go, but they'd be keen to get him back out in the ground.
Pedersen. Back inside to Jones, and Tumpus involved as well, and now Jamar. Back to Matty Jones. Jones to Jones.
Doesn't want to heap of the footy. Mark Jamar, the big Russian. There's Chris Dawes, as Lingy said. They will be desperate to get him back out. He started the first quarter in really good shape, but he's a big body, Jamar, and against Jolly, you know that he's going to compete really hard every time there's a contest to be had. I think he started really well. Jolly hasn't had any influence in the game at all, really.
Former Collingwood doctor looking after the former Collingwood player on the bench there.
Yes, Scotty Pendlebury got involved there, Dane Swan.
Now Swan through the middle. No one came at him. Able to go. Missed Cloak on the lead, and in the end, wasn't a greatly directed kick. Turlick got around 1, around 2, and most importantly kept the arms free, but got it out of bounds. McBurney called it deliberate in that pocket early, and that one wasn't. But you can see Dawes there taking a tablet for whatever reason.
Be Panadol, might just have a bit of pain somewhere. But yeah, Pendlebury needs to get into the game, and Harry O'Brien, they just lacked a bit of run in that first quarter.
Thomas didn't go at the body there, and Swan was able to just waltz around the outside of that attempted block tackle, call it what you want. Did not corral him at all. There's Pendlebury. Tackle slipped by Tumpus. The last bit of it got him high, but umpire said play on off hands. Turlick knew he had the safety of the behinds there, and he turned the right way, that is for sure. Intelligent play.
Scott, back a metre, thank you. Fine there.
Going to have to just go long down to Fitzpatrick here. Hasn't got anything on at all.
And he's got to understand it's a good shot. He's the tall player, deepest in your picture there, Richard. He's got to understand that this is his contest, and if it goes long, he can't get outmarked by Ben Reid. He'll try everything to work him under the footy. He's got to be the release kick here. That man there.
Finally, they forced them back the other way.
Yeah, they're trying to create something out the other side, but Collingwood have got the exit block, so they'll have to come down the line.
Harry O'Brien doing really good defensive blocking of the space there in the picture. Into the middle they go, Lynch. The tackle by Kent, who was impressive in that first quarter. Now Brown and Reid combine. The handball missed Didak, though. And another turnover from the Pies here. Watch has got on the end of it. We'll kick it to 50. Here's Dawes back out there. Stretch of the Dukes again. Couldn't hold it this time. Banged in. Somehow kept it alive. Gee, I'm not sure that actually went out in the end.
Well, he came on and got a mismatch when he came back onto the ground. Heath Shaw on Chris Dawes. Shaw did really well then.
Make no mistake, the Pies are not wound up here at the moment. They are playing into the arms of the Demons, who just need a sniff to find a leg here. And at the moment, it is not working for them, and they are giving Melbourne an opportunity on the scoreboard.
Well, they've had a big break in between games, Collingwood, and they're playing like that. They're playing like they've been in holiday mode a little bit. There's not a lot of run at the moment. To Melbourne's credit, they've shut it off, though.
Almost just looks like they want to play this sort of possession game, and kick to Cloak's advantage was really good, and Cloak worked Garland under the ball. He wanted to push, but it's never going to be paid.
That's your A-grade game plan that today. Colin Garland's having a really good year. He's an improved player, but he's not going to enjoy a big one-on-one contest with Travis Cloak. You'll just be breaking the lines. You'll be getting it in there as quick as you can and seeing if this man can do the rest.
Another example of what would have been a free kick in the opening 8 rounds of this season. As, thank goodness,
50-50 chance there, the stats show.
Yep. There is Cloak. Needs that to work right to left, and it won't. So 1 goal, 8 for Collingwood. Indicating Dunn there that he wanted the Melbourne players to bunch and run.
14 shots, 15 shots a goal between the two teams. 2 goals so far.
In perfect conditions.
Yeah.
There's hardly any wind out there at all, Richard. Pringo, Jolly ripped it out. Fast hands, O'Brien. Good release. Ball, great kick. McCaffer, this is better. Didak for goal. That's bending back the way he wants it. That's Alan Didak of old.
From Alan Didak, who really broke the lines and was able to get through. And we saw a bit of that great skill, didn't we? Made him an All-Australian player. And he'll be really keen today to just get his view rolling. They made him earn his spot. Played a lot of games in the VFL before an opportunity a couple of weeks back.
Yeah. Oh, this is what broke it open. Luke Ball, the Ivan Needle kick there to McCaffer. Overlap run. Didak kicks a nice goal. That's what it's taken, though. Great kick by Luke Ball.
Just his 2nd game of the season, Didak. Roden. 1 arm locked up. Still managed to get it away legally, which was a feat in itself. High ball inside 50. Dawes once again protected the drop of the footy, and he's very capable of kicking this. It's a big kick. He does tend to kick it high. Chris Dawes, and this is not beyond him at all.
He would have had a lot of one-on-one with Nath Brown at training and practice games pre-season. They know each other really well.
He's got a really simplistic action. I like it. It's straight. Everything's sort of almost textbook. Comes indoors, and that's bending the right way. Just a little too much curl left to right in the end.
Keeps everything straight, though, doesn't he?
He does. He's got a really nice action. Good kick in from Shaw. There's an opportunity here with Josh Thomas. Out wide to Brown. Brown will want a little present-up player. Instead, the handball off to Swan. Swan has to double back, and back to Brown. He's a left-footer, remember.
They're just starting to get a bit of overlap now, Collingwood.
Ball, quick little kick into McCaffer. Says he's run off the mark. The umpire calls play on, and that's a really good kick. That'll go right to the line. Off hands, Lynch, goal. Collingwood 2 in a minute.
Nice finish by Lynchy. Not normally his role, crumbing, but got a contest from Cloak on the line. Brought it back into play. Well done, but just a little bit of a danger sign here now for Melbourne. Collingwood starting to get a bit of overlap. Handball receive. Just need to lock them back down now for the next few minutes. Don't want to let the Pies get this centre clearance.
Been a couple of really good lead-up kicks from Luke Ball that have split this game open, coming back from a knee reconstruction, and he just summed it up really well. The long one wasn't on. It broke it wide open, and Cloak and Lynch both look like they are really going to be dangerous today.
Handball, missed Evans, Didak again. Sylvia was all over him. It was well done. Josh Thomas in amongst it again here, so is Sylvia. There's Marley Williams. One to Martin. Kyle Martin in there scrapping it out. So is Blees. Good contest.
Yeah, good intent. That centre bounce was pretty crucial. They didn't want Collingwood to get a clear takeaway because they're just starting to show signs of getting the game going now.
Evans. He's under pressure. Look at Jack. 4, 5 Collingwood players surround him. In the end, he's the one that got a hand on the footy after it hit the deck. Amazing. Dawes, now Shaw. Rush kick, side bottom, and Sinclair with some work to do ahead of them. Tumpus will arrive, but not before the boundary.
Go through, Chris, go through.
Jimmy Tumpus. Early in his career. Hands comes to Dunn. Dunn lets it rip from 50, sprayed it right across the face.
This is the one now Melbourne have got to stop. They can't let that first or second release kick happen. Otherwise, Collingwood get all their run going. Really good pressure.
The tackle from Blees there was fantastic. He's closing down their space again a bit here, Melbourne.
Well done by Harry O'Brien. Really put the accelerator down then, avoided the tackle, and now Shaw with a nicely weighted kick.
Harry O'Brien and Heath Shaw, they're just fantastic players. In a situation where it looked like Melbourne were going to create a turnover or lock it in, all of a sudden they're able to work it down towards their half of the ground. Really well played.
That was well done, Tom McDonald. Came off his own man, because Jolly would have marked that if McDonald didn't be brave and come off his man.
So O'Brien followed his man all the way down, entry inside 50, and eventually Pedersen.
Jack Watts is out here if they can get it moving quickly.
Matt Jones is the man with the footy, and he couldn't. But there is the original one, but he's had to come quite a way forward, Jack Watts, and now he's under some pressure.
Collingwood,
McCaffin of the leader Cloak, that had a little bit too much on it as well, but side bottom at the back was able to turn and look at the great vision. He saw an opportunity for Martin. And it was really good vision.
And a brilliant kick to go with it too, BT. It's one of his great gifts still side bottom is, have a look at this, to pick it up and then out of the corner of your eye, to one, be able to see that that was on and then have the ability to kick it is just sensational.
Martin, almost directly in front, shouldn't miss this. Collingwood have kicked 3 in a row early in the second.
It's a good story. Kyle Martin, the Herald Sun today, about his career, and he's just been a bit lazy playing footy with his mates at Noble Park, getting the job done there, but he was too good for the level and he decided to knuckle down, finds himself out on the MCG, and he's got plenty of ability. Showed that in his first game last week against Brisbane.
See the vision of side bottom and then the skill to execute the skill.
Off one step. That, don't underestimate how hard that kick is. He was under pressure.
Yep. The smother was all over him. Swan out of the middle. Collingwood all of a sudden have got things going here. 3 goals in basically 6 minutes of footy. Turlick for Melbourne goes wide. Good hands from Jeremy Howe.
Move it on. Play on.
Jones, Nate Jones, sees a spot for Dawes, once again draws him to the ball, didn't try to mark it Dawes, he tried to push it on, McKenzie went in, did not come out with the footy. Now Collingwood looking to run here, look at the players flowing past, Marley Williams back to O'Brien, it was never on, stolen by Kent, Maxwell in the tackle though, got him pinned, he made an effort, so it'll be a ball up.
Did he make a bit of an effort just into Nick Maxwell's quad there, just maybe giving Maxie a little bit of a cork as he was trying to give the ball a handball? Very clever.
Trengove, centering ball, he's got it right to the goal line, or as it was the behind line, stripped by the post.
Thank you, Mark's here.
Shaw. Really, really good kick. Long, and it was meant for Kennedy, but couldn't quite make it in the end. Melbourne are going to come back again. Reid with the front position here did it well.
Shaw, holding, he's Shaw.
Well, he's Shaw free.
Jack Watts can't work it out. He thinks maybe he should have got the free kick.
Just starting to open up now, this game.
Yeah, they're getting overlap now. O'Brien's got into the game.
Short ball to side bottom, back to O'Brien. He goes again. Another perfect kick as well for O'Brien. Really good running, and the same man here, Kyle Martin, to line up for his second consecutive goal.
He knows how to find space. He looks like a natural forward, Kyle Martin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seems to be some doubt over the distance here, the way they were wanting to kick it, but he's gone back and set himself now to make it a 26-point lead. Kyle Martin needs this goal. Kick on the way looks pretty good. It's accurate. Has it got the legs? Yes, it has. Collingwood by 26.
Couple in a row for Kyle Martin. He's got nice action as well. Pretty confident from that range. Jack Watts is just having a little discussion about the free kick that was given away before. He's sure. Never happy when one goes against you. Let's take a look at this free kick. It was played against Jack Watts with Heath Shaw. And both players had a piece of each other. Watts tried to milk one in the end. Probably a play on call, I reckon, would have.
Probably 6 of one, half a dozen there.
Almost having a dance.
I reckon Kyle Martin's happy he decided to have a fair dinkum crack at it.
2 goals on debut last week, 2 here today. Do you reckon the boys down at the Noble Park Social Club would be...
Yes.
Oh, they'll be 5 or 6 deep at the moment.
Well done. And Kyle Martin here. 4 consecutive Collingwood goals. And Swan's going to get it to Blair. Blair short. There comes McCaffrey up the middle. Ignores that and goes to Cloak on the wide lead.
Well played, Colin Garland. Really great effort to go step for step. And a little chance of the rebound here, Melbourne.
Evans. Couple of bounces. Pendlebury just trying to corral. Kick back inside to Blease. The smooth mover. Gee, it was a clean pick up. Now Blease on his left. Tries to get it in the Trendo path, but Didac did well. Now Swan. McCaffrey. Too far out to score. Here comes Cloak. That's a better kick.
Yeah, just too hard, Garland's. You can see his frustration. He wanted numbers back to help, and on a quick play with that amount of space inside 50, you can just see there was no one around to drop back in the hole, Ridgeo. Pretty hard to defend in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely nothing Garland can do there. It's just about impossible to stop a forward of this quality when he's got space in front of him and no support. Garland can't do much about that. And not a lot of pressure on the ball coming down the ground either. That was the beauty of the first quarter, the pressure on the ball carrier.
Gee, they only led by 1 point at quarter time. We're only 16 minutes into the second quarter, and there's a chance here for them to lead by 32, but it's 27 instead.
And really, the only way to stop that, getting to Travis Cloak like that, is to have a better kick inside 50 in the first place from Melbourne. They had the flow of the game running down. They needed to attack the goal square a bit and get it in long to Dawes and Jack Watts. Instead, they tried that sideways kick, and it came undone. They opened themselves up.
Yeah, it's a good point, Lee, that you make. I just think they're getting a lot of forward leads that look exactly the same. There's no change-up, and I was watching that one closely, and he was talking about all 3 forwards, Watts, Dawes, I think it was Howe down there as well. They all led to the forward pocket. There was nothing that was different for the kicker to look at.
Roden. Check out of the pack, and that'll find the boundary.
Really important 7 minutes for the Melbourne Footy Club right now. I think everyone thinks that Collingwood are just going to be too good and weighted numbers will get them in the end, but they've come here with a great attitude, with some really good signs. You don't just want to drop off in effort. So long as they keep that up, we can wear that, and Melbourne supporters will as well. We're going to keep that strong intensity they showed in the first quarter going. Yeah,
The tackle numbers have dropped right off this quarter, but it's probably because of this. The kicks inside 50 have been ordinary, and then Collingwood are just able to get their loose numbers and run on the outside.
See, Harry O'Brien had McCaffrey on, ignored him, got caught with the footy, but it doesn't matter. They've tidied things up. Maxwell to Cloak. Have a look at this. He's got Pendlebury working towards goal. He's got a big leg. Too late now. He'll bring Pendlebury to the footy into the hot spot. Jeremy Howe's there, so is Lynch. A deliberate knockdown, I reckon, by Lynch. An opportunity now for Thomas. Snap at goal, needs a good bounce, got it. Thomas has kicked their 5th in a row, Collingwood.
Yeah, 5 in a row for the Magpies. They've got themselves up and running now. Just the quality starting to rise to the top. Josh Thomas, one of the young players, 7 games today from Broadbeach on the Gold Coast, still 21 years of age. It's his 2nd career goal in AFL football for that young man.
Well, he's only a young player, but that's just a poor inside 50. That starts it all. They get the overlap run, the transition from defensive 50, and it gives their defenders down the other end no chance.
Back in the middle, Swan. Another clearance here. Looking for the overlap run. Got it from Seedsman. Williams as well. Now O'Brien, as Richo said, starting to get involved. A low ball. Pendlebury claims the mark.
Controlled it, delete the ground.
He said, look at the replay. You'll see it bobbled out, he said, the Melbourne player.
Yeah, Tom McDonald is the man who...
And a pass while that argument goes on to Blair, who drops the mark. So Collingwood have made a bit of a mess of it. Pendlebury's got it back, but it's under pressure now. Lynch, O'Brien's in the vicinity. Stolen and just got away with that. The Demons caught napping a little. O'Brien quickly down to Cameron Ling.
Yeah, BT, it's a good spoil there. Terrific play by Jones, but makes it a bit harder when Melbourne are trying to go forward. Chris Dawes has just gone down the race. His right knee heavily strapped, but we also think it might be a right ankle problem as well. So he's looking very proper here. I'll continue to keep an eye on it, but he might not come back on the ground.
Jeez, that's going to really hurt as David gets caught hold of the footy. Dawes was giving them that option through centre forward in the first quarter. With him gone, that hurts.
McCaffrey, Lynch, out the blocking arm, trying to mark at the other. Turlick, 3-on-1 here for Melbourne. They should take it away. Bit of a battle from Patterson to Jones. Eventually they find the wide loose runner in Watts. You can see Watts can go over the top to Evans. He does that nicely. On to Blease, the smooth running Blease. Fronts the goal, gets plenty of the footy. Post up.
It was good ball movement from Melbourne there, wasn't it? They've got some speed in their side now with Blease, who's genuinely quick, Richo. Tumpus is quick, their new draft pick. Aaron Davies quick. You know, they get it in space, they can really run it.
Hey, downfield.
They've got to back themselves in. They know they've got pace. They've just got to be able to back themselves and
Hogan
move the footy quicker.
Did well. Ball was delivered a little too strong and high. Turlick. McCaffrey pursues him, and now in the hands of Lyndon Dunn. Little kick around the corner, cut off by Marley Williams. Blair, instantly to Lynch. Lynch turns around on the right boot. Wasn't kicked out in front of Cloak as much as it should have been, but he's got the free and the mark. In fact, the hold behind that will go to Pendlebury. Cloak was a little disappointed.
Oh, you'd be filthy if you're a full forward and you take a mark.
You're going to get a look just behind you. Have a look at Tom McDonald around Scotty Pendlebury.
Scotty exaggerated it. Well done. Ability to draw a free.
For 6 Collingwood goals in a row, Scott Pendlebury a chip from directly in front, and he's got it. Collingwood by 38.
Beautiful finish, Scotty Pendlebury. He'd only had 4 at quarter time, but he's got involved in the second quarter, and it was him and Harry O'Brien at quarter time. Hadn't had big first quarters. They've got running and moving now, and they've blown this game open in this second quarter.
There's Scotty Pendlebury, who kicked the last goal playing as a full forward. I'd love to see him rest there. He's starting a bit further up at the moment.
But just in the top of the picture there, is it?
Yeah, you'd love to see him rest forward. With his height, his marking ability and his one-on-one play, it's a great option for them.
Kyle Martin around the body, but Toumpas growing in confidence as Jimmy Toumpas. The knock away from Matt Jones as you see Don McClarty skirting off down into the rooms there. And Ron Barassi as well in the picture.
Well, all Collingwood's quality players are lifted in this second quarter. Swan had a huge first, but Pendlebury and O'Brien, Luke Ball, all pretty quiet in the first quarter. But they've really got moving now.
Matty Jones' handball was smothered. Collingwood with some numbers. It was really well done. I think it was Kennedy that initially picked it up. Toumpas now, his handball was smothered again. Kennedy again, Lynch, onto Swan. Swan from 45, boxed in. Behind.
Dane Swan doesn't mind the fact that Melbourne chose not to tag anyone today. Already the 21 possessions, and we're not yet at half-time. Incredible the way he finds the footy.
The next best being Nate Jones on 15 at the moment.
Yeah, Mark Neal there. I've got Chris Dawes off, and Lee's going to keep us updated on what's happening. We think it might be a right ankle, but that's the one Dawes would have come up and made sure there was a contest.
Cloak.
They've lost all their structure now, forward of the footy.
Sylvia to Roden. Roden banged into McKenzie, rode the bump beautifully, and Sylvia pocket ones out wide to big Jack Fitzpatrick, and the knock on here was impressive by Evans. Now he uses the speed. Evans runs, open 50, no one will get there. Watts will arrive, but not before Heath Shaw. Long 20-metre handball to Sinclair. Had to go over the top to Williams. Confronted, but got the handball away. Brown had it spent before he had it won. And now the turnover to Blease. Blease can go to Howe. Ignores that. The lead from Watt. Got to get in amongst them. Side bottom did well. Peeling off.
Going on the footy there was Lyndon Dunn and Scotty Pendlebury. Just having a little bit happening there at centre half back.
Seedsman runs inside 50 a bounce, forces himself onto his right side, trying to get back on the other side. And a really good tackle in the end from Jones.
Let's get down to Doc Larkins for the first time today. Welcome to you, Doc. What can you tell us about Dawes and Turlick?
Yeah, thanks, Stars. Well, Turlick's got a badly corked buttock. He's just gone back on, but he's having trouble running. But more importantly, Dawes is down with the ankle problem from the first quarter. Really tweaked it again about 5 minutes ago, and they're trying to get the pain out of his left ankle. He's downstairs.
Going to play again, Doc, do you think?
Sorry, that?
Will he play again?
Yeah, I think they're probably going to have to give him more of a pain relief and re-strap it, and Dawes will come back.
Little kick here from Thomas to O'Brien. Hurried again. Wasn't quite on balance. Now O'Brien's tackled by Sylvia as he made an attempt. Just got rid of it in the nick of time.
That tackle is entitled to make a genuine attempt, which he did.
Love seeing that.
He had him by the hair accidentally, but he actually had a handful of hair in the end. And I think his fingers just got caught in the unusual hair.
There was any malice. The Melbourne supporters down there, they might be down by 39 points. And this sounds like a strange thing to say, and it's not being condescending. They're actually enjoying a bit of aggression, a bit of fight from their side, Richo. It's been a pretty good display from Melbourne.
Yeah, well, they're the loudest I've heard them this year. It's seen them a lot. And they're definitely enjoying a bit more intensity, probably more in that first quarter, but there's probably a few more of them here today too, obviously, with the Queen's birthday clash. What's the crowd, do you reckon, BT?
It'll be 50 or right on, I reckon, Richo. I think the forecast from the MCC today was about 54, 55, and they're normally only 1,000 or 2 out in their forecasts here. Very accurate with a long data bank of history. It's not as if Melbourne haven't been in this position before. Of course, they're facing an opportunity here to be 1-10 this year, which has been the case in 4 of their last 6 years, that they've been 1-10 in the opening part of the season.
The MCC forecasting, Brian, so I've heard that before. They're very accurate, are they?
Absolutely spot on they are. Here's an opportunity to tell you more about it shortly. Kennedy goes forward 52 metres out. Cloak in a wrestle won't get it. Minor score. Yeah, they forecast for all sorts of reasons, for catering and all that sort of stuff. And just about every time, if you go and ask the officials here, they'll tell you, Das.
Really?
And they are within 1,000 or 2,000,
Really?
I'm telling you.
So they judge that on pre-sales, or how do they
On
get
the
it right?
history, on the data from previous games and etc.
Right. What
Pretty good, Richard.
Yeah, well, that's good.
You're not believing, or
Well, you'd want to hope people didn't change their mind at the last minute and come along there.
I had a feeling they said 75,000 was a forecast Friday.
Collingwood by 40 points.
Provide a bit of run and a bit of grunt through the contest.
Yeah, Jack Watts starting at centre half forward. Jack Fitzpatrick, and they're one key down, so that will really make it hard for Melbourne.
Second half underway. Melbourne down by 40 points here.
Fine.
There's Nate Jones, Luke Ball.
Thank you. Thanks.
Ballie's always on the bottom. So's Nate Jones. So what a great matchup that is to start this quarter.
So Tapscott as the sub gets the opportunity here with a full half of football ahead. Collingwood still yet to use their first gamer in Adam Oxley as their sub.
He's their 7th this year, BT.
Is
That's
he
the
really?
most of any club this year.
Back interference, free kick.
To Pendlebury.
Stay out, Jack.
On the run, ignores that. Harry O'Brien wanted it wide, but Pendlebury said, I'll go to Cloak. And once again, a little heavy. A few have come in a little heavy and high to Cloak today. Here's Didak, though. A deliberately centering ball, almost in the path of side bottom now. Applying some pressure to the Demons. Did well, Jones, to get it to Matt Jones. And Davey, and they lock it in their forward end, the Pies.
Spoke pretty game about Collingwood needing some percentage. They're well down on the other sides in the top 8. It may well be a goal. It's, roughly about 25 goals down, and they won't be talking those numbers at half-time, but they will see this as a big opportunity to kick 100+ points, see if they can restrict Melbourne scoring. And conversely, Mark Neal will be saying, listen, we have competed better than we have done most of the year. Let's make sure we don't give it up.
Currently at 101.3 their percentage, so that comes from 97 last week. Here's Harry O'Brien with a real steal. Comes in and drills the goal.
Oh, he loved that, Harry. Great effort. Pressed down on the Melbourne forward line. Forced kick across goal, and he just intercepted, ran into an open goal, and he's been very good since quarter time, Harry O'Brien. Really enjoying his role on the wing this year, taken out of defence. He's gone back there a little bit, but a bit more freedom on the wing.
This is Tom McDonald, young and experienced defender. He just hung that one in the air. O'Brien, since quarter time, Richo, as you've pointed out, has probably been the one that's broken the game open, having a really good year.
Well, he just runs so hard. He runs from defensive 50 to forward 50, and it gives you a great outlet.
The build has been slow and methodical here from the Pies, but you get the feeling it may well grow. Sinclair. Pendlebury never panics, even though he was caught then. The recovery just goes backwards to give Didak a little bit more time. He's looked pretty good here today. Have a no look at Harry, who spun and pirouetted his way out of trouble. Sinclair to Lynch. Lynch again, and Collingwood finally get a kick on it. It's long and high to Cloak, and Garland with a punch from behind. Turlick tried to spin out, but he span into trouble, and Lyndon Dunn rolled it in the path of Pedersen, who's now pursued by side bottom. Gee, it was a great little pick-up. Kick around the corner. I think Cloak got a hand on it. Turlick.
Kick, Melbourne.
Yeah, it's going to go Colin Garland's way.
Cloak high.
Garland came in and laid a really good shepherd on Travis Cloak.
Block here, you can't take him high.
Yep, there's the reason why. Cloak just got a bit frustrated, got him in a headlock. Oh, Garland's kick's a shocker.
Wasn't quite ready for it, Lynch. Otherwise, he may well have had a mark inside 50 from a second turnover. So Collingwood really starting to tighten the screws here. Blair bullocked his way out of trouble. Nathan Brown launches one high. Now Cloak's got a one out in the square again. Two back to help, and a third at the front and centre was impressive from Melbourne.
Yeah, they worked hard to get back there on Cloak. He would have marked that, I reckon, one-on-one, so great effort.
Handball's a little short for Blees. Jones caught the footy, the advantage paid, and here's Jolly to Didak. Takes the mark, Didak. Is it within his range?
Melbourne just still make really basic skill errors. Blees' handball, he just hung in the air too long. He should have taken off. He's got great speed. Run through the middle of the ground, break the game open, Richo, and something good happens.
Yeah, and eventually that hurts your confidence and you stop running forward hard off your man because you're almost scared that the ball will get turned over and your opponent will get on the end
11
of it.
touches. He plays on Didak to get a bit more leverage on the footy, and he hangs it out to the left. And 1 goal, 1 today for Alan Didak in his second game back. What do you think's going to be the course of action, Das, Richo, Lingy, for Alan Didak for his future, long-term future?
Look, they made him really earn his spot this year. He played almost, I think, 10 games in the VFL before cracking it for a senior game. I reckon there's been some glimpses tonight of the All-Australian star, that little bit of spark going, but you need to see more of it consistently as a free kick will go Pedersen's way here on the full-back line at 50 as well. So I think if he can continue to grow and you give him another month and you see more of that, Rich, I absolutely think he's in their best 18 still.
Well, I reckon he's shown, as you said, a bit of life today, a bit of run. Looks to be enjoying his footy.
Especially with their lack of experience at the moment, Rich. Have a look at this. Collingwood have increased from 97 to 102. So all of a sudden, they're just creeping back. Percentage is going to be really important for them at the end of the year.
And you see everyone else around them is up over 110. So it is crucial.
Yep, they'll need to get plenty more of it back, not just in this game, but in future games as well. The Pies, they haven't achieved that here. They've got the Bulldogs next week, but they've got to get across the line first. Here's Trengove. Handball backwards to Jones, who gave it up and then realised he'd actually made a mistake when the ball was in mid-flight. Kent did well. Fast little ball from McKenzie to Nate Jones. It's tackled by Maxwell. Eventually Melbourne got it for a rare entry inside 50 in the 6 minutes so far in this third quarter. Sylvia's down on all fours. The big man Fitzpatrick is in there. Has another crack. Fitzpatrick reeling it back in was Heath Shaw and Jack Watts in a test of strength.
Gee, Jeremy Howe got up there then. He copped a heavy one. We'll see it here. He came in. He jumped. He had no one to jump on. Normally there's a back there for him, and Ben Reid crashed into him.
Fresh airy from Swan. Melbourne pressing here. Heard the umpire's call. Maxwell with a big thump. Seedsman, who was really good early. Swan and Pendlebury, and Seedsman looking for it again. Had to wait for it here. Did Kennedy. Tries to back out of the Blees tackle. Did it well. Collingwood through side bottom. A drawing kick to Cloak. A nice trap by him, but Garland's all over him. Moved it forward, and now Matt Jones will be first to arrive for the Demons. Or Willie. He's messed it up. Seedsman. Dunn and Nath Jones. Straight down the line. Finds Jamar. On to Turlick. Fitzpatrick now turns. Got a bit of toe, Big Fitzy. Look at him go. Good kick to Howe. Boy, Big Fitzy turned on the gas.
He actually went away.
He did.
The big man, he's 6'5". Put the afterburners on.
Just wanted to show this one. Cam Pedersen look involved in this contest. He's got Seedsman in front and just have to go back and lay the shepherd there. This was great to see from Big Fitzpatrick, but Burnoff still side bottom. Shows there's a bit there.
The toe at the end was impressive. Jeremy Howe yanks that a little to the left.
He's actually 200 centimetres, Das. That's ruckman size. He showed great pace then.
Saw him at the Institute of Sport when he was a 17-year-old, Richo, and he had a bit of ground to make up with his natural ability to kick the footy, and he had chronic fatigue syndrome as a youngster, so had to fight his way through that, but he was always able to go clunk and take big pack marks, and leg speed was a real quality as well. So that's what you'd think from a Melbourne point of view. Here's a man on speed, got a bit of work to do on the beard. I'm not sure that's doing great things for him, but there is talent here. It's not as bad as it seems at Melbourne. You can build confidence in this group and they can win games of footy.
Infatuation with beards as Das as Tumpus.
I'm a huge fan.
Got it into Trengove, but Harry O'Brien with a smothering.
It's not the beard in general, it's the beard growing contest. When things aren't growing your way. No, it's not all beards.
Like the beards.
Don't back away from it.
That is a young fashion statement, Das. That's what it is.
If you're in a beard growing contest and you're not shooting the lights out, then you've got I reckon a bit of an issue.
Davey around the body, bent it a little too much too early. Oh, and just unusual there from
there's no box of Kleenex on the bench. You've got to get it out somehow.
Thank you, Hop.
Kick back into trouble from Maxwell. Turling, Tumpers looking for Roden, the hand of Didak. The fast give to Reed. The candy seller by Reed was really good. Goes wide to side bottom. Dunn had a piece of him. Umpire said get on with it, fair enough. Now they've got a crack. Matt Jones to McKenzie. McKenzie, a funny little roundhouse handball over the top to Tumpers. Put him under some side bottom pressure. Out the back door. Collingwood can go here if they can get possession. They're away. Here they go now. An opportunity for ball. It was a little stiff to Didak. Didak got the one over the top. McCaffer gives on here. An opportunity for Kennedy to run into an open goal. Well done.
Nice finish. He was under a bit of pressure in the end, but that was a well-worked goal. Had the loose player over the top the whole way down. Eventually finished off 15 metres out.
Cameron Ling, we've got a sub.
Yes, we have, BT. Collingwood have made their sub. It's Nathan Brown's the man who's been subbed off, so they've subbed off one of the key defenders. Maybe a bit of management now happening. It's young Adam Oxley, the Queenslander, for his first game, so he'll be excited to get himself involved.
What else do you know about him, Lingy?
Well, really versatile player, quite tall, 191 centimetres. He can play forward or back, and Collingwood rate him really highly. He's still got a bit of development to go in his body. He needs to put on a few kilos, but can play footy.
2013 rookie draft for Oxley.
Well, I reckon with Chris Dawes going out of the game at half-time, they thought we might as well take Brown out as well, because it probably wasn't the ideal matchup down there for him.
Tall and tall then.
Yeah, the big guns for the Pies are really just starting to step up. Dane Swan gathers possession, number 25. Pendlebury's had 22. Harry O'Brien, to me, has just about been the most effective player on the ground. Luke Ball's been really strong as well. So they're just flexing their muscle a bit here.
Move it on, play on.
So Collingwood down the line. Cloak in the contest. Garland did well again. Pedersen's there. He'll have to knock this out or he'll be pinged. He did. He bundled it out in the end. McKenzie. Melbourne under pressure here. Turlick clobbered from behind. Big fella Jolly got him. Little quick handball comes out of the first game of Oxley with his first touch. Kennedy ran into a bit of a brick wall.
Well, that kick down the line then that Collingwood did, that's what Melbourne want. That's a win for them. They can force Collingwood to kick down the line long, gives them a chance to stay in the contest. They just can't let it get on the outside where Collingwood carved them up in that second quarter.
Blair got it out there to Kennedy again. Gives it off to Oxley. On his non-preferred left side, Oxley, the first game of fine Swan.
She's a little bit of skill there. Adam Oxley, that's his first kick in footy. And let's get a look at it again. Kennedy handball out. It's hit Dane Swan on the chest. And all credit there. That was a left foot across the body. That was absolutely perfect.
Swan, 25 metres out, nails the goal for Collingwood.
Dane Swan up to 26 disposals now. That's his first goal for the day, and he really enjoys playing against the D's. Averages 33 against them in the last 4 years, and he is on target to go way past that today. He could go past 40 today, Dane Swan.
Collingwood out to 57 points here, and you can see the Seagulls refusing to land on the grass today. They did Friday night. It's because of the high wires here at the MCG, or they may just not want to come and land yet, Richo. I'm not sure which is.
I think they like coming in once the sun goes down, to be honest with you. So the last quarter they'll land.
Ball, little left foot up, finds on the lead here, McCaffer. So yes, They put the wires up, 6 or 7 of the wires up here to stop the seagulls in flight. I've seen a few hit them and wobble for a minute, and then they've regained their composure and not splashed onto the G, but none here at the moment, so that's a good sign.
I reckon they come in when it gets dark.
All right. You reckon you know when they're arriving. Here's McCaffer. This for 10 straight Collingwood goals.
What do you...
McCaffer comes in a little left, but a goal. Collingwood have kicked 10 in a row.
Yeah, just really starting to break away. Magpie fans enjoying this, and it's getting a bit ugly here at the MCG. A few smiles now, Clokey, and you're getting a sense you can fill your boots up here today and really cash in, kick a big bag of goals, get your confidence right up through the roof. Challenge now back to Melbourne to respond.
Kicked the last 10 goals, Collingwood. It's starting to get a little bit ugly if you're a Melbourne fan. They need to really find something here. They can't afford to let this blow out and be another 100-point loss. They show great competitiveness in the first quarter, and they've got to be able to find that level again.
Well, staring down the barrel of 1-10, the 4th time in the last 6 years that Melbourne will have achieved that feat that they wouldn't have wanted to achieve.
It's an awful stat, that, isn't it?
Yep. Opportunity for Kent. Got back inside. Marley Williams now off half-back. Surrounded by Melbourne pressure. Williams head over it. Did well to Maxwell. Just mongrels one forward. It worked well for Cloak. Garland was good as well. Through they come. Blair with a bit of pace and speed. McCaffrey with a no-looker. And now Collingwood have got the space they want. It's the guy that uses it well by Boot and Didak. And he goes wide and finds an opportunity with Kyle Martin, who's already got himself 2 today as Mackenzie, as Martin plays on, centering footy here to Seedsman.
That was a great kick by Didak, and Martin showed really good hands as well on the lead. He's a natural forward who can rotate through the midfield, Martin, so they keep finding them, Collingwood. Their 7th debutant today in Oxley.
So a whack in the mush there for Mackenzie has seen him leave the ground, and this is what we believe happened. An accidental boot just to the side of the right side of the nose there as we look at it.
So I think Max will actually go across and put his hand on his shoulder and say, sorry about that one, mate. Didn't mean for that to happen, which was a nice gesture. But you look around the ground at the moment, there's Collingwood players everywhere just saying, can I get involved in this? They are really in a position to turn this into a massacre here at the MCG.
Just checking the man on the mark there, which is what all good goal kickers do. Just in his 21st game is Paul Seedsman, and he comes from 48 metres out. A beautifully weighted kick, offline by about a foot.
Yeah, he's had a great 4 or 5 weeks leading into this game, Seedsman. A little bit quieter today, but he's really developed this year into a really good running half-back. He can take a mark, and he's a good user of the footy, so he's been terrific this year.
Yeah, career high 28 last week, Seedsman. Game against Brisbane at the Gabba. Watts, Davey tapped it over the back and straight to the pies.
Collingwood get to 7-4 today. It's a pretty good effort when you've had 7 new players brought into your team during the year. So Bucks has been able to introduce new players and still have a 7-4 record. So pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of new players. That's why I think Didak's important to us, because I think he just adds that experience to what is fast looking like an inexperienced side.
Yeah, absolutely. Just about to make the same point that Richo was as the Pies go forward again. Good tackle from Dave Jones, played holding the man, but you take out Dane Beams, their best and fairest winner, Goldsack's out, Dale Thomas, Alan Tuvi's a regular in their 18 for Solo, Ben Johnson, Clinton Young came across from Hawthorn, hasn't been cited. There's 7 players in their starting 18. It's a real changing of the guard here at the moment for Collingwood.
And Elliott and Cracker not out there today.
Yep. Absolutely. It's a big turnover of your list that Collingwood are having to cope with at the moment.
They're just getting everything their own way now. Just been able to switch it across with ease.
Reid goes for a lengthy one and finds side bottom. Good kick, good mark. Side bottom will chisel this one inside, and the young man here in Martin punched away from him. So now Evans stopped in his tracks there. Melbourne in defence here. Pedersen got a lot to do with the handball. Goes wide. Looking for Sylvia. But every possession now for Melbourne is under pressure like that. First gamer Oxley looking to get ball. Missed him. And Dunn's kick is good to Evans wide.
They're just not running as hard as they were early in the game, Melbourne. That kick down the line there, none of the players through that mid part of the ground offensively ran hard forward, and it's almost like they lacked confidence that they were going to be able to win the ball out on the wing and get it moving inside their forward 50.
Pin straight away, thank you.
And that's what they're dealing with, isn't it? The courage to run and to back yourself in as a team. You go into survival mode when you've been smashed. Bristol pointed out before, 4 times in the last 6 years, players in this group have only had 1 win coming into this time of the year. Good effort from Kyle Martin, and it just gets you mentally. You don't really trust your teammates, and you can never really sustain your effort across 4 quarters. It's a huge problem. There's enough talent out there.
If someone had have bolted inside forward 50 there, the Collingwood player has to run with you. No one took that chance.
Here's Oxley. Nice little grab, gives to Sinclair. It goes wide to Shaw. So the transfer from the south to the north is completed with this kick to Josh Thomas. Little chipper to Williams. Start of the day deep in defence. Around the corner finds Seidman. The run once again. Impressive here from Josh Thomas. Got it to 55. Was looking to draw Swan to the footy. And now it's Swan and Cloak. Cloak cleared the path for Swan. Very unselfishly goes back inside looking for Kennedy. Couldn't eke him out. Now Trengove just pushes it to Garland. Does he concede? No. There's the Mungle wide. If Didak gets a good bounce here, he's back in the play. Handball into Reid. Reid the left footer. Launches a low stinging footy.
I think Melbourne supporters, as we see that facial work there, that's your Hannibal Lecter special there for poor old Geordie.
Imagine if you went to your doctor with a bit of a sore nose and you walked out of the doctor's surgery looking like that.
That's cruel, isn't it?
How does he breathe with that thing?
Yeah, good luck with that.
He's lost one apparatus. He's only got the mouth to breathe through now.
That is... let's work on the run at its best. From the Medicos.
He's just about to say as Jack Watts will fly, and good Mark. Mark Newell, if he was sitting with us, would say, look, we'd love to have Jack Viney, who's a young star running around tonight. We'd love to have our co-captain Grimes. Mitch Clark is out with a foot injury. James Frawley's their best defender, who's an All-Australian a couple of years ago. So there is a core group as well for Melbourne that get some confidence, get up and running. They can improve very quickly.
Pedersen. Fitzpatrick, neat little kick around the corner to Jack. Watts goes deep and wide and finds an opportunity with Trengove.
In the end, Melbourne really patiently worked that ball okay, but you can see their confidence. When they got the ball about 70 out, the good teams, and Collingwood do it so well, they just wheel and go from there and go bang and hit the top of the goal square to a key forward. Melbourne just don't have the courage to do that. Chris Dawes being off the ground doesn't help it. You can see they're second-guessing themselves. In the end, it worked out okay, and Jack Trengove gets a shot at goal.
Have not kicked a goal since the 17-minute mark of the first quarter, Melbourne. Off the boot of Aaron Davey. Trengove comes in and drills it through the middle for their second of the day.
Nice finish by Jack Trengove. He had 8 disposals in the first quarter, and it was the best quarter of footy I reckon I've seen him play this year, definitely. He was getting some confidence back. He was flying for a few marks. He's died out of it since then, but some real positives for him today that he can take forward for the second half of the season.
So Melbourne get their second goal of the game. A long stretch between goals there. Umpire Chris Cameron's in the middle to restart things again, and Melbourne get an opportunity to go forward again. Sylvia trying to work in there. Maxwell, touch of the fumbles, then was able to get it to Seedsman, who luckily got some sort of boot to ball. Roden in and under. A couple of the folk here supporting their beloved Demons.
Got the team photos on that hat. So that had all the team photos on the
I didn't
hat
see
there.
it. I'll have to have another look at that, Richard. Nicely spotted. As Melbourne look for and find the open man. His read again. Ball with the give while he was still in the air. It was really well done. Side bottom with a no-looker slider out wide. And here comes Cloak. Once again, Swan deep, looking for Lynch, who's held and took the one-hander anyway. Shaw wanted it deep. Now Didak's got to go long, but there's no one there. He's got to hope this skids or bounces truly. Heath Shaw was annoyed, and there is the team photo.
Well, it looks like the 64 premiership just at a glance, Richo. For me,
Come on, Daz.
picked up a few familiar faces there.
Oh, no.
Put a bit of work into that. I like it.
Yeah.
Saw Barras on that, maybe a bit of Hassaman.
Just they used to win a lot of flags back then. They win 4 in a row.
They were the dominant side, Richo.
I reckon there's 4 premiership team photos on there.
She remembers it very well. Fitzpatrick. Swan, fast release. Found the space and time here for Kyle Martin. Good kick to the advantage of Cloker. In the end, it wasn't. Actually, it cleared his head again. There's been a number of kicks for Collingwood that have gone inside 50 tonight, Das, and actually had too much on them.
Yep. Colin Garland has played another really good game. He's a quality defender, Garland. One of the real good stories this year for Melbourne.
Cloak wanted it on his left, but Seedsman drawing footy. Mark not paid, the umpire said to Kennedy there. Must have hit the deck. Here he is, the masked man. I think he might have got another knock in the snozzle there. Roden, he was almost walking into that, David Roden. Now he starts to wind the juice up. Gives it to Blues. Please, have a look how smooth he is. 2 bounces. He's run about 40 metres and goals. Great stuff from Melbourne.
That is just what the Melbourne fans have been waiting to see. They've got some talented players, Richo. They just are in a lull. You can see Sam Blease. Look at the genuine leg speed. The coach at the start of the game spoke to Cameron Ling. He said, I want him to do this. Just take the game on. Why wouldn't you use that great place? Good finish. Roden took it on at the start as well. And it's a great play.
You could see him there. He was waiting for Roden to look outside, and then he just took off. And when he does, he's unstoppable. Covers 60 metres, 3 bounces, and kicks the goal.
He certainly got every inch out of the bounces in between, didn't he?
He certainly did.
I reckon he tempted the umpire to the millimetre as Nathan Buckley arrives with 50 seconds on the clock and the third remaining to the bench. Pendlebury to Williams to Ball. Ball backwards again to Pendlebury, now Lynch and O'Brien. So through a number of sets of hands in the middle before they finally get it out, and then Lyndon Dunn defends well. Kennedy went, handball to Blair, had a look, drawing footy. Gee, that was well done by Cloak. He held Garland off, and then at the last moment released. And a 50 to go with it for just a little bit of abuse, I think.
So you got to feel for Colin Garland there. He gets a 50. That's just frustration. He's played so desperately all year and again today on a quality player like Travis Cloak.
Cloak comes in to kick the goal and does it well, but gee, he protected the spot where the ball was going to drop again and did it well. Did he do it with a hold? That's the thing.
Yeah, look, I think the 50 was for the push afterwards. We just have a look at Garland. Every defensive player just wants their midfielders to come back and fill the space, and no one does. And so he finds himself caught out, and then just a little bit of frustration. But you know what? I love it with Garland. He cares. He's just desperate for this side to be good. He's committing himself with everything that he's got. He's demanding more of his teammates. And I don't think that's a negative thing at all, Richard.
No, I wouldn't be too worried about that. He was frustrated. He's done a good job. There's been 46 inside 50s as this quarter closes out for Collingwood. And for Cloak to only have 2 goal starts, I reckon he's done a pretty good job, because it's a lot of entries. Cloak would normally have more than that by this stage.
Fitzpatrick, a clear jump over the top of Lynch in the middle, and we're down to the last 10 seconds here. In the first quarter, they've already conceded a couple. Collingwood Watts to Blease. Howe wanted a piece of it. McKenzie says, you get it, give it to me. Sylvia went back and got it, but time's going to run out as he spins in and out of trouble. 2-goal quarter there for the Demons. Collingwood got 5, and they lead by 60 points here at three-quarter time. Collingwood 12-15-87, Melbourne 3-9-27.
Two Seagull experts. It wasn't something that I knew you two could bring to the game tonight. The MCC, we believe, great expense, the wires. That's not a cheap thing to do, to hang a wire.
Cost them a fortune.
From one end to the other. And the Seagulls have said, see you and raise you. No problems at all. What's wrong with the Hawks? Bring the Hawks back.
Get the Eagle back.
The Eagle.
Jones.
You might as well have flushed those funds down the toilet, I think.
Jamar. And just trying to do it the right way, but I think the correct way and effective is Eagle.
Next call.
Ball backwards to Heath Shaw. Now Collingwood by 60 here. For their percentage, they wouldn't want Melbourne scoring too much more, and they'd have to be setting themselves a task at 80 points, wouldn't they? Surely. Here's Lynch. 75 metres out, hammers it to the top of the square. Swan was there. Turlick went up, little quick kick out of the side door was impressive from Kennedy.
It was really impressive. Another really good find for Collingwood. We talked about them a lot this year, all these rookies and new players they've brought in. Another one today, Oxley, Martin. That time it was Kennedy. That was a great crumb. Lynch did the hard work, led up to 60, didn't hesitate, wheeled around, got a contest from Cloak. Kennedy does the job, and that's pretty simplistic play, but it's always pretty effective.
It's a great chance for a young Collingwood player to cement themselves a career here. And Ben Kennedy, only 6 games, Richo, he's starting to show some signs that he might just have a permanent spot in this team. He really competes really well and gets on the end of it more and more regularly.
Yeah, he got a couple last week as well.
Some real, there's Trengove, nice mark running back. There's real competition for small forward spots at Collingwood at the moment. As we said, Elliott and Cracker aren't playing today, but you got Kennedy and Martin out there putting their hands up, and it's a good problem for Buckley to have going forward. Good mark by Jack Trengove. Talked about his first quarter. He's died off a bit since, but starting to look a little bit more confident in himself today.
Trengove to get it back to an even 60 points. Hammers it. Good looking kick. Has it got the wheels? Yes. Or was it touched right on the line? No, it's a goal. Trengove gets it for the Demons.
It's his second goal, up to 14 disposals, playing off a wing. It's good to see. He's had injury trouble over the pre-season. Of course, added responsibility of being a co-captain at such a young age. Everyone would be happy to see him going pretty well out there today.
D's have kicked 3 of the last 5 goals in this game. We know that Collingwood desperately need percentage. They sit on the live ladder in 6th position, but look around them. There's 25 goals approximately to make up in percentage, and that may be significant for them.
Free kick. Kicked his hand.
Back half of the year. You don't see the kicking in danger play that often, do you?
Aaron over here, Mark's here.
The sort of interpretation change with kicking in with intent to hurt, but got a little spike out of it there. Big Joels. Oh, great handball from Didak. Super handball to
Free
ball.
kick.
Ball's won himself a free as a result.
He's playing well, Luke Ball.
What's he had today, Richo?
He's up to 25. He's just gradually getting back to some really good form.
Real credit to this man here too, Colin Sylvia. He's had a fair dinkum crack today. He cops a lot of criticism at times. Maybe hasn't quite lived up to what his talent is, but he led the way early, had 5 tackles in the first quarter, and he's really tried hard. His challenge now is to back that up every single week he plays for Melbourne.
What's out there into that flock of Seagulls?
The other thing that really happened of a game-changing nature was Chris Dawes going off as a sub. He's been injured. Jack Trengove, Lingy, I know you've been spending some time with him, mentoring him. I thought he's been really, really strong tonight. You happy with his progress?
Yeah, he's a fantastic kid, Darcy. He just really wants to do well for his team and learn leadership and learn his craft as a player, and he really has a crack. I love the way he goes about things, and it's great to see him get a bit of form tonight as well.
Where to Kennedy. Kennedy's kick not effective inside, and Turlick with a little kick around the footy. Made Matt Jones go back and get it, not once but twice, and then the smother by side bottom was really good. He's got a clear path here, side bottom. He can go to a loose Cloak really deep, and he finds him.
Cullen Garland just can't believe it, can he? It was a smothered kick. He was running off for once, taking a chance, and it's just come straight back over his head.
Well, that's what happens when you run off and then it gets turned over. Ran into each other there, Dunn and Pedersen.
2 goals, 2 today for Trav Cloke, and add a third to that.
Yeah, a bit of a gift there for big Trav. He's had his hands full tonight. Still a really imposing figure in the game. You really put your work into trying to stop him. He can get you in the one-on-one. He's an amazing runner as well. And just enjoying his work out there, Clokey.
Well, that's an unusual look. That's Maxi Gawn there, and the just gone the beanie look today. And James Frawley's got the wide open look about him at the moment. And Big Gawny's just looking a little strange in the beanie there.
You're getting a bit cold down there now.
Boy, get it on, Maxi. Good tackle by McCaffrey's side bottom. A lovely little left foot chip. How good's that? Swan, the recipient, and he too will chip it to Pendlebury and get him a little closer, although Pendlebury let him down with the mark there. Thomas now has to do it all, and here comes Cloke again, but he's got a difficult angle this time. He runs around immediately. They love the snap around the body, but that's gone close to out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, he got it in the middle of the ball there. Just rushed it a bit, Trav, on that occasion.
I don't reckon he liked the angle he was going to be set on, did he?
He was on his preferred side, though.
Yep. That's where I like the composure of the likes of Stevie J and Roughhead and these guys to be able to
set it up properly.
Set it up, make sure everything's in place before they run and snap.
Big blokes tend to make those decisions at times, don't they? Just rush things.
Well, yes, Richo. Fitzpatrick here.
It's generally the cut-off point's about 6'5". For good decision making.
Not good blood flow from there, you reckon. Here's Swan, funny little kick.
It's just a bit disappointing again, that handball. He's played it well, Fitzpatrick, but his left-hand handball missed the mark, and they're out, Melbourne.
Sinclair, short, good kick, and this will be lining up, I think, Thomas. It is.
He had a great third quarter, Thomas. 12 disposals. And
queuing up in the corridor at the moment, the Pies. Thomas in his 7th game of footy. There is the task ahead, about a 50-metre kick, and it's a little left, but it's good enough to be a goal, I think. It is. 3 Collingwood goals in the last here.
When you get an opportunity to come into a quality side, you fight for every possession you can get, you make sure you kick your goals, you work hard at all the things the coach wants you to do. That's the advantage of playing young players, is they are so desperate. They won't take anything for granted. There's another one of 7 debutants this year for the Magpies.
Collingwood by 72 as night falls here at the MCG. And the Pies with a much-needed percentage booster here.
Free kick. Play on.
Centre square infringement there. That free kick was paid for. Here's Tumpus.
Fine there, Alan.
I really like the look of Jimmy Tumpus. I know he hasn't had a huge night tonight, but he is a terrific young player. He's going to be a very good player for the Melbourne Footy Club.
He had it 13 times today, Tumpus.
See how he had the confidence, though, to wheel around then. I reckon Lingy would have been happy with that and backed his skills into kick it to Fitzpatrick.
Josh Thomas with the cut-off, and Dynak really finding a bit of form out of this game here today. It's exactly what he needed. Pendlebury back to Dynak, who can kick it on either side equally as well.
You were asking before, BT, about Alan Didak in the best 22.
Yeah.
I think he's the type of player that come finals in close games, he only needs to touch it 4 or 5 times, and it could be 3 or 4 goals. He's definitely going to be a weapon come the end of the year.
Cloak to McCaffer. McCaffer had the position, but Pedersen had the strength to hold. So you've got no doubt coming into the year, Lingy, that you know, Didak in this sort of form is in their best 22.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just so dangerous and such a good ball user. And there's not as much free ball in a final as we know, so it's those blokes who are really smart and can hurt you. They're so crucial.
Shaw looking for Lynch, finds him right on 50. Now, will the glove come off? Or is it? Yes, it is. There it is.
I'm with Richo.
Let's have a look at the finger here.
Finger's giving him all sorts of grief.
What Richo's saying is that the finger on the bottom, the small finger, see the bent one there, is not hanging onto the footy.
Yeah, and
that's right at the end.
But I reckon it's just causing the ball to drop out the bottom side of his hand there, because the little finger's got no real
It's just
grip
going
on
the
it.
wrong way, isn't it? That's just an incredible shot, that.
So really, he's gripping the footy with 4 fingers here, Lynch, and it does look, I reckon you're under it, Richo. It does look slippery out of the drop, no question about it. Thomas, kick around the body, out of bounds on the full.
This is amazing, Richo. BT actually subscribes to one of your theories.
Oh, that is the first thing. I didn't realise it was a shock. I mean,
Look at that.
It's dropping out, though, isn't it?
Throw enough theories up. One of them's going to...
You've got to get one right.
There's another turnover here. Harry O'Brien. Go back and have a shot.
But that was his strength, Lynchy, at the Eagles for all those years. He could bomb it from 60.
What's the solution? Cut it off, Richo?
Snip it off. Daniel Chick style, I reckon, might be the go.
What do you do with it? Go and get it straightened, or?
I'm sure he'll have some sort of work done, or he probably already has.
Harry O'Brien just to the near side. I'm surprised it looks like it does. I thought there were people you could see about issues like that.
Well, I think that's as good as it's going to get. Otherwise, you do have to cut it off, which is...
Well, Greg Hoy is Melbourne's leading hand surgeon, or Australia's leading hand surgeon. I'm sure he can fix it. Surely. Lyndon Dunn from fullback. Collingwood by 73 points. And
Aaron out.
go Jolly's way. A long way back to Maxwell.
Stay there. Play on.
Back to Jolly on Tapscott. Needs to do him in the air. Tapscott was able to hold his position, though, and did well. Strong man, Tapscott. Trengove to Davey. Davey is really good. That's a sensational kick. And Fitzy didn't let him down with the jukes either.
Yeah, the strong hands I was telling you about, BT. He's got them.
The beard. Trengove. Harry O'Brien ran past the ball. Trengove slipped, and now Collingwood have got a 4-on-1 going here. Pendlebury to Maxwell. Maxwell want to go back inside. Pendlebury again, nothing to kick to, so he has to go sideways to Cloak.
Look at this run of Swan. That's hard offensive running. He's not going to get it.
Oh, he just lost patience, Cloak. He said, I'm going the barrel.
Buck's not having any humour at all with the coach's boxing.
Coaches don't tend to like the barrels too much.
Not when they go 50 rows back. So what about Mark Neal, Richo and BT, Lingy, everyone? Where to from here? The board backed him in on Monday. Decided that his tenure was safe at this stage. Does today help his chances at all?
You've got to back that decision in now.
Kick goes into Cloak. Cloak marks, and he'll line up for goal. Well, if you didn't get the sack last week, why would you bother this week?
Yeah, exactly. You've got to just back Mark Neal in now for the rest of the year and give him a chance. End the speculation and just back him in. Starting to get a bit of it now, Clokey, and 10 minutes to go.
This for his 4th, Richo. And this to sneak up on 80 points. 79-point margin it'll be.
Hasn't been hitting them at all well today, Clokey.
About 30 metres out, and that one's off the instep. Really poor drop. Dropped it on the inside of his kicking foot. Chased it across with the leg. Knew straight away.
For about 50, it's the old story. You feel better in what he's going to do with it. You know then he's got to kick through or try and kick at 60 metres. And invariably they go straighter. That one was just another poke at the footy.
It's the old problem, isn't it? Keeping your same routine for every shot you have, no matter if you're outside 50 or 20 out. But
some can do it and some can't.
Yeah, people wonder why you can't, but it's just all mental, really.
Short ball here finds an opportunity with Kyle Martin, who, by the way, will line up for, I think, his 3rd goal of the day. Yeah, I reckon some get in front of the goals 20 metres out and they just go with a nice little 7-iron instead of the driver off the tee. But he's one, I agree with Das, that's probably got a kick at the same, but I think others can adjust and have a different type of kick. Here's Martin for his 3rd goal. He gets it. Collingwood by an even 80 points.
Well, 5 goals in his first 2 games. Kyle Martin, he looks a player. I think he always has been, but by his own self-admission, he was lazy for a few years there outside of the under-18 comp. Went to his local footy at Noble Park, then decided to get serious, went to Frankston for a year, won the best and fairest there, and finds himself kicking 3 goals in the MCG.
There you can see it. 9 of the last 10 inside 50s. And Pies out to 80 points.
4 goal to 1 quarter as a result of it.
Yep.
Good bouncer, Dean Margetts in the middle. Ball somehow got it to Swan, and Swan with a little one to Pendlebury. Handball received back to Swan. He wanted to take Dunn on, realised he probably wouldn't get it done. Pendlebury turns back to the middle, buys some time and space here for Luke Ball, who kicks a high ball, allows Cloak to come at it, win into the air offhand. Quick hands by Turlick, straight to Tumpus, nailed by Blair's tackle.
Dane Swan up to 37 now. He'll have another 40 here today. He's got plenty of time.
Do you reckon he's got in his mind that he's somewhere close? He's just got a real urgency about his game at the moment. Suggests he's hunting after 40.
Just engaged a bit too much there, Harry O'Brien. You could see what he was trying to do. He wanted to just push off and fall into a chest mark. He's had 11 games over 40 possessions in his career, Dane Swan. It's unbelievable.
So look at all those. They're all one-on-one matchups, except for this one here. Jamar, who snuck forward. Garland. Back to Turlick.
And Collingwood had got them manned up all over the ground here. So they've gone 50 metres backwards, but Howe's pushed. Pedersen it is, just pushed hard, but just a poor kick there.
McDonald, if you are going to go backwards, you've got to make sure you're able to mark it, I reckon, to be able to control the footy rather than have to play on if you don't want to. Pendlebury, short kick here, draws McCaffrey to the footy. No Collingwood player really deep inside 50 at the moment. Harry O'Brien tried to sell the foot candy out wide, did it pretty well. Kick was not so good. Into the hands of McDonald. Jolly, Pedersen at it there. There's the dangerous Didak. Little no-looker handball, wide to McCaffrey. McCaffrey eases it sideways and finds Cloak, who's within Travis Cloak range.
Let's have a good look at this kick, because it's exactly what we're talking about. 30 metres out before. He just tried to caress it through. Now he's tired right at the end of the game, but he knows he can just freely kick through this. Having a look at the wind. Just see how he lines this one up.
Going to have to, as Dar says, give it everything he's got here, Cloak. And that off the instep again.
Yeah, it's inside his head a bit now. Throwing the grass up, you can tell that he's thinking about it. Have a look at the ball drop.
It's a very high ball drop. That's above hip height, that ball drop. But he has improved a lot in the last 5-6 years from where he was at. Umpire rightly calls play on. Lynch has to spin and go. And Jamar, the only willing participant in the air.
He's been pretty solid tonight, the big Russian.
Yeah.
This afternoon, I should say, Richo. He's competed pretty well against Darren Jolly.
It's a bit of a nil-all draw in the ruck today, I reckon.
Yep.
So 4 goal to 1 last quarter here. Sinclair chisels this one back into Lynch.
Stay clear.
So not a lot of pressure at the moment in this footy game. Didak can go wider if he wants. He elects to come in and give Blair a look. The boy from Wonthaggi. And just wants a couple more metres back for Lyndon Dunn, because that'll bring him into range, he reckons. So, yeah, he kicked this from 51.
You have the distance
He's looking around to give it off, Rich. I reckon it's going to be really tight for him. Everything will need to be perfect.
He's got no one who he can handball off to now, so back himself in.
He's gone for the rather large run-up for a wee man.
It's amazed how many times players spin the ball in their hands. He's obviously always going to do that.
Now, Shaw probably not being on the run would struggle from there as well. Eventually, he finds Kennedy.
I think if you came into the start of this game, from Collingwood's point of view, and you thought they were, they're 80 points up at the moment. If they're going to win between 90 and 100, you would think, yeah, it's a tick.
Look at this, Garland guarding Cloak. So come on.
Well, they've basically put the 80 points on in 2.5 quarters.
Yeah.
Kennedy looking for his third goal of the day. Launches it out to the left.
Hasn't been a great day for the set shots, has it? Seen a lot of...
Let's notice a crowd of 50,835. So the forecasters, as I mentioned, only a couple of thousand out, Das.
5,000 out.
Well, yeah. I call that a couple when you're dealing with lots of thousands.
It's 10%.
50,000 here, Das. There hasn't been a crowd under 50,000 for a long time in these Queen's Birthday classes. By the way, been 13 consecutive classes on Queen's Birthday Monday here at the G.
Never been under 50, did you say?
Don't think in recent time they've been under 50,000, Richo. Maybe if they were played at a different venue, they obviously would have been under 50, but here at the G.
Oval. Where would they have played?
The which oval?
The Junction Oval. I'm not sure where they would have played.
Well, Vic Park.
Did they? All right.
Yeah, but this tradition's been going for years, Richo.
Yeah. Fair point.
All right. I don't know whether you want a history education or not, but if you want me, I can go. Side bottom. Seedsman for Collingwood. To get it inside 50. 3 Collingwood players closing. Cloak wanted it. McCaffrey let him have it. In the end, none of them got it. McKenzie with the tackle. Tapscott's there as well. Got him a little high. Umpire said play on. It was insignificant. Good call. Matt Jones wide, and now an opportunity for Kent. Seedsman strips him of the ball, and good little kick to penalty. Does he turn and go? And just a little kick. Great composure, looked around, made sure he couldn't make a mistake there. Penalty. It was really well done, and now Kennedy.
Just a lazy 34 possessions, a goal, 6 clearances for Scott Pendlebury, 5 tackles. He's just a super consistent, incredible player. He's had some frustrations this year, I think, with so many debutants, as you pointed out, Richo. They haven't always been able to play the game the way he likes it to go.
This time Kennedy is straight, and he kicks his 3rd goal of the game.
Well done. Ben Kennedy kept presenting himself all day as a small forward. Kicked 3 goals. Kyle Martin with 3 goals. A couple out of Thomas. That's a good result. 8 goals out of those 3. Be wrapped with that, Nathan Buckley. Just keep finding players and developing them, the Pies.
Collingwood by 87 points, and I was giving you a bit of a history lesson before this, Richo, on this Queen's Birthday clash. They met periodically on Queen's Birthday for more than half a century, my research tells me. And in 1858, we saw the biggest crowd ever for a home and away crowd game between these two mobs of 99,256. Here's Swan from 60 metres out and dribbles through in the end.
Lee, you've played on all the big guns, Dane Swan in grand finals. Do you think the elite midfielders have an idea of how many times they've had the footy? Swan's had it 38 times. Do you reckon he knows that he's somewhere near 40 or not?
Oh, I reckon he'd know he was thereabouts. So I think he's that good at finding the footy, and he's done it that many times. He'd know he's hovering around that 40 mark. I'm not sure if he'd count them exactly, though.
You're not seriously saying, Darcy, they count their possessions, these top-line players?
No, but I reckon he'd walk off and know that he's had an absolute heap of it and just wanting to load up. Richo said 11 times over 40. I'm not saying he knows that he's got 38, but he...
You reckon he's going up to the stats man at half-time and three-quarter time to check, do you?
No, I'm not saying that.
No, I don't think Swanee needs to do that, BT. He knows he's just had a heap of it because he does it so much.
Not unheard of, BT, for a midfielder to focus on how many times they got the footy.
You're saying they're a little selfish and individual or not?
Just saying that the good midfielders, they like to get a lot of it.
I reckon in the change rooms at half-time, a little sneaky look at the AFL app.
Did you know how many goals you'd kicked once you'd kicked multiple goals in a game? Like when you got to 6 or 7, did you keep count, Richo?
Every single time. What are you... That's a stupid question.
Jones. I guess if you get to double figures, it gets a little difficult. Here's Davey over the top, turns Sinclair inside out. He kicked their first goal of the game. Will this be their last? And Aaron Davey with beautiful foot skills.
It's one of the only times in this second half where they've been able to get some really good link up through the middle of the ground. A couple of handball receives. Davey's one out. Turned him inside out. He went to ground and kicked a nice goal. Just haven't been able to get any run whatsoever through the middle. It gives your forward line absolutely no opportunities.
McBurney, Jamar, a beautiful little flick on the inside to Tapscott, who got men a little high there, now ball. So Collingwood with an 83-point margin here at the moment as Lynch goes long and deep. Cloak at the back. Garland did well to bring it to the ground off hands. Pedersen. And now Watts, beautiful pickup.
Dane Swan's got 39 and he's just lurking far off the back of this contest here. He's about 10 metres away, centre-half back. He's thinking this one might come his way.
A rush kick here, he'll get it.
He's setting up the trap, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's got 20 seconds to find it. If Melbourne get a possession, he may well. And now that may well be it. Swan will have to come to the stoppage, which he does.
He's coming down, don't worry
moseying
about
on. He says, I'm going to the stoppage. To us says, I've got
you know, it's
39.
Sidebottom's called him back to pick up Tapscott. He just said, no chance. Here he is.
He'll get it here.
Here it is, here it is, here it is.
Get a handball.
Oh, boy. Couldn't quite get it done there, Swanee. And siren sounds. Collingwood have defeated Melbourne by a whopping 83 points.
Possessions, Dane Swan.
Well done, Swanee. Melbourne really took it up to you in that first quarter, but those